Today on Shop Tool Reviews, an everyday tool that we don't often talk about. The Axial Shift Everyday Carry Pocket Knife. We've been using it a few weeks. Let's see what we think about, take a closer look, and we'll talk about price and warranty. This is the Axial Shift as it will show up, so I just wanted to show you here in the packaging. Very nice packaging job, very Apple-esque, if you will. So you kind of get like a drawing rendering, if you will, on the outside sleeve. Open that up, and then you get a magnetized flap there on the box. Again, who cares, right? That's what it comes in, but it is a nice presentation, I must say. You open that up, see the logo of Axial there, a couple of cards here, made in the USA, talks about their no BS guarantee, and then quality control, just kind of step by step, everything hand checked off from materials inspection, chassis inspection, blade inspection, internals inspection, assembly inspection, extreme tolerances, wicked sharp, and yeah, kick butt action, and then the initials of the person. So anyway, that's cool. So made in the USA, love that. Unprecedented innovation, precision, and performance. Looks like a note from one of the owners, Axial CEO, CB. Welcome to the fam. And then user care and manual. Talking about their automatic knives. This is the Axial Shift, by the way. So it gives us some different things on operating the knife and so forth. Also registering your Axial for the warranty. By the way, they have their wicked sharp warranty, which includes if you ship it back to them and pay to ship it to and from, they will handle actually disassembling it, sharpening it, and everything else. These are their titanium key rings. They sent that to me. I think they're like $10, but kind of cool. Get a big key ring and a small key ring made of titanium. Anyway, so in the case here, so we get a padded case, magnetic lid, and then kind of a velvet bag, if you will. And then within that bag, we get a sticker again, inspected by WB. So very nice packaging presentation. By the way, I've been using this a few weeks, but I thought I'd pack it back up and show you how it will come when you actually get it. So this is the Axial Shift. It's an automatic knife. It's out the front, or OTF. So you'll see a lot of times it just kind of see the acronym of OTF. That's out the front. So we're going to see the blade actually eject right out the front. Eject's probably not the correct word because it doesn't actually remove itself. And here's your actuator right here on the top. And a very simple looking knife here. Not a lot going on. Very smooth, very easy to handle in the hand. Decent size, but not too big whatsoever. And then we get a belt clip here. And the belt clip is kind of a shallow carry. It's definitely not a deep carry. So like a deep carry would be when the clip, like you see here, is kind of above the knife. In other words, that knife there is a deep carry, so it would actually sit below your pocket, and all you would see would be that clip. Whereas in this, you're going to see, you know, this much of the housing actually sitting above your shorts pocket line or wherever you have it clipped in. So kind of a shallow carry, if you will. I just wanted to point that out. Right now, as far as how it comes, you cannot flip this clip over and be ambidextrous or be a left-hand carry, if you will. With the hole being there and the slot all the way through, looks like you should be able to, but with the angle there, you're not able to do that. But maybe they offer a left-handed clip, so then you can definitely do that. So we'll get into the internals here in a moment. We'll show you the actuation of the actual mechanism, if you will. And so you'll slide this forward, and it's pretty, I shouldn't say tough. You've definitely got good feedback here. You're not going to accidentally push this by any means. And you see a very fast actuation there. So very quick on both sides. And I can do this with my index finger as well. So once you're used to it and actually know kind of how to follow through with this, it actually is not tough to do, but it's definitely a firm feel when you're shoving that. You're not, as I mentioned, it's not like you're going to accidentally push that and deploy that blade there. But it is a very quick action. And by the way, there is safety mechanisms in here to make sure that, you know, when you shoot that, it's not going to deploy that somewhere you don't want it to. So I'll show you here. Take a pencil here. And so you see I stopped the actual mechanism, and so now the blade just kind of free floating in there. And by the way, when that happens, just kind of sling it out, and that locks it back in. And so we'll show that once more. So you see it's not really doing a lot to that piece of that pencil there when that happens because of that safety mechanism. But now this blade is just kind of free floating in there, and I could pull this out if I want to, but the easiest thing to do, hold it in your hand and just kind of sling it back out there, and that locks it back into place. So now that's locked in, and I can pull it back in. So I really like the action of it. As far as the jimping on the knife itself, there's not a lot other than, you know, right here you see on the bottom, you see some jimping here, as well as on the top, a little bit right here on the top of the body also. We also have the American flag engraved right here in the center of the handle. Love to see that. Again, made in the USA. We might as well brag about it, right? Absolutely. So we also have a little bit of, right here on the choil area, where you can definitely get a good grasp here, even when this is deployed right there on the actuator button or the slide handle right there where you actuate the blade. So that gives you good grip. At the same time, I have not felt like that this handle was going to slip out of my hand or lose grip or anything. You know, a lot of times I used to think I needed something with a lot going on in the handle to make me feel like I can hold the knife. But let's face it, the majority of things that I'm doing with an everyday carry knife, and by the way, that's what this is to me, just a very handy knife that's going to stay in my pocket, and then I can break it out when I need to. I love having a one-handed operation. Many times I'm holding something else in my other hand. I don't want to have to use two hands to deploy it as well as put it away. So having that one-handed operation is very nice. And let's face it, what's the majority of the things that we're doing every day with our knives? You know, as important as we like to think we are, what are we normally using it for? And that's, you know, what, cutting a box open? You know, so we need to cut some tape, cut an envelope, something like that. That works great for that. Again, quick deployment, use it, you know, cut open whatever you're needing to do, or maybe it's, you know, you got to sharpen that pencil, so you want a decent blade that's going to sharpen it, that you can fine tune. As far, I say fine tune, like in this case, be able to whittle away just a little bit on this pencil here to get the sharpness that we're wanting. So I want to be able to guide that blade and it be sharp enough to take care of what I'm doing. And there we go. So now I've got a point on my pencil. So those are the type of things we're doing. Or we've got a wire that we're needing to shave the insulation off of, which, by the way, don't do this, especially when you got a sharp blade to trim that knife. Let me show you an example. The great thing is if you have a piece of wood to go on, that works great. But watch this. So I'm going to lay this down here and take the blade and just roll that wire. Now watch this. So now I've got a perfect splice on the insulation of that wire now. And I can pull that off, or I can use that insulation to twist it. And now I can put my solder on there or whatever I'm needing to do with that wire. So anyway, so that's typical of an everyday carry: cutting envelopes open, cutting cardboard open, whittling on some wood, whittling on a pencil. And this Axial does a great job of it and very easy to deploy. Now, as far as the blade goes, you'll see right here it says it's CPM S35VN. That means that we get very good corrosion resistance, as well as a good blade retention, as well as good blade sharpening. There's a lot of metals out there that have a really high hardness value, but then a lot of times retaining that blade as well as sharpening that blade can be a real pain. This is a great corrosion resistant stainless steel, as well as still offering the ability to be able to retain the blade as well as sharpening it also. So it's a good blade for an everyday carry for sure, as far as the metallurgy, if you will, of the blade. So a D2 steel would be comparable, but the D2 is not going to be quite as corrosion resistant as the S35 VN. Let's get a quick measurement on the body of this. So you'll see here on just the body, you're looking at right at 5 inches, so 4.93 inches, so right under 5 inches for the body. As far as thickness here, a little under a half inch, so 0.465, 463. And width, the widest point right at an inch, so 0.98, 0.95. Yes, so right at an inch. And then in fact, if you get the actuator button there, a little more than an inch. With the blade deployed, you're looking at right at a little over 8 inches, 8.25 inches with the blade deployed. With the blade itself being right at 3.25 inches as far as the blade ejected. I will say when you first get the shift, you'll want to use it a lot. Make sure you use it, get a good feel for it for one thing, but also eject and retract the blade several times. And you'll also want to oil it up. 3-in-1 oil is like a sewing machine oil that's been around a long time that works quite well. You want something nice and thin, but I'll be honest with you, one thing that I'll use is just simple old WD-40. It is a little bit thicker than some machine oil, but it will work. Let me show you how to do this. So basically got an opening on the front. Well, I can just take my nozzle and spray it in there a little bit. So I got it good and soaked, probably too much, right? Let a little bit get there on the on that handle area as well. And then actuate it a few times. Then we can take our rag and just kind of wipe it down, and then we'll take one more step here. Again, we'll deploy it a few times. Wipe that down. Be real careful while you're wiping it down. One more thing. This thing is held together by like 6 torque screws, and it is a T6. So all you have to do, we don't have to take it apart, but take this screw out of the back side, which retains your belt clip. So take that out, and if you want to, you can take the belt clip out, and as I was mentioning, see, I can't just flip it over because then the angle of the belt clip sticks out wonky. So anyway, take that out, and then take a little compressed air, and you can put a rag down if you want to, and then through the hole where we just took out the belt clip, and then you blow some this way as well. And then wipe this back down. And that should keep it lubed up for a few weeks anyway, depending on how dirty you get it and you know, what kind of crud you work out of. That should do the trick, at least for a little while. Now when we look at the blade, so this is an automatic out the front blade actuation, and you're always going to have a little deflection or a little bit of movement, but there's really not a lot in this. In fact, we're quite impressed because there's no hinge mechanism, right? I mean, it's literally sliding in this housing, so to be able to keep that tight of a tolerance, pretty impressive on the deflection from side to side. And the same kind of up and down. You get a little bit, but not much whatsoever. So pretty impressed with, again, having that out the front capability with that little bit of deflection in the knife or in the blade. As they mentioned, it is a lifetime warranty on this. They call it a no BS warranty. So you don't like it, it messes up, what have you, send it in. They're going to take care of it, fix it for you, or replace it, depending on what's wrong with it. Also, the Wicked Sharp warranty, you can send it in, get it sharpened, they'll send it back, Wicked Sharp once more, and all you have to do is pay for the shipping to and from. So price on this is going to run you about $199. Sometimes I've seen them on sale a few dollars off of that, but mostly right at that $200 range. But still, for an out the front knife knife that's this nice, made in the USA, under $200, that is a great deal on this knife. I've been quite impressed with it, used it for a few weeks now. So make sure you check it out. I'll have a code in the description and a link in the description. If you want to, you can check it out. May get you a discount, may not. So, but check out Axial. And again, we'll have the link in there. And have a great day. Keep smiling.